We're leaving the house right at 9 a.m. ready to go into bass and pike fishing in Thames Estuary today. I've not slept at all, so I'm feeling as fresh as ever. No idea what we're going to catch today, if anything, but it's going to be an adventure, so let's see what we can do. Just straight from the outset, we already have a difficulty, which is that the trains are not running from our station, and we're already going to have to take a replacement bus service. And Ernie's already wondering about whether we should take a little trip to Co-op strategically to actually get some stuff. And he's having a very, very bad hair day. That hair has become bigger than you, bro.
I'm bigger than you anyway.
So we managed to get to Wimbledon, and now we're gonna go onto the district line towards actual Tower Hill, and there we're gonna have to make another change to take us down to Beckton. Let's get on our trains. Beautiful Wimbledon station, quite quiet. Usually on weekdays this is super heavy, but today it's nice and straightforward, so let's just trust that our trains are actually going to be running.
I'm hungry and I want a cornish pasty, so I'm going to invest into that. I think it's very good.
It's proper fisherman's food.
Very good brain investment.
Yeah.
Very good brain.
So what are we saying here? West Cornwall pastry. Traditional? Handmade in Cornwall. I think I'm gonna go for a chicken and a mushroom. But we're gonna have to change at Earl's Court, and he's already chomping into his pasty. How's it tasting, boy?
Pasty feels like integrity, so if you want to advertise your integrity, advertise the pasties, my friend.
It's proper fisherman's food, yeah? Hey, when we're going on a trip like this, we're allowed a little bit of a quick food, quick breakfast. We managed to get to Earl's Court, and now we're going to work out how to get to Tower Hill, because there are no trains towards Tower Hill. So any ideas, Ernie, what we're going to do? Any smart ideas?
I'm just following you, mate.
Ernie's already grabbed the seat. He's tired. He seems to be tired of this trip already. A young boy is falling asleep. Such a cute sight. Never like that sound. Never ever like that sound.
Central line, the next train to.
We need a DLR. Let's please be the case that it's running and it's not delayed or cancelled because it's Sunday or whatever. So we're on a self-driving train which was brought into London some 20 years ago even, and we need to yet make another change at Shadwell, not Shagwell, but Shadwell, and then we're heading off to Beckton. So this has been multi-changeover trip, but it better be worth it. We're just saying we'd rather pay up and catch something than not pay and not catch. So yeah, I always knew it was going to be a schlep, but hopefully it's going to be worth it. Ernie, how does it feel riding on DLR?
I've done it before.
But now this kind of like on our little adventure, how does it feel?
It feels pretty much the same. It feels like the same thing as a normal train, to be honest.
Yeah? You don't
Nope.
You're not afraid of AI, the self-driving, like...
It's a train, it's not a tank.
But like, and it's got full autonomy, right? So you're not afraid of the full autonomy?
It's not really fully autonomous.
Yeah, it's driving itself, bro.
Yeah, not driving itself, but there's always someone pushing the buttons.
No, no one's pushing the buttons. It's just kind of.
There's got to be someone in the main room to turn it on and off.
It's all programmed, bro. It's all programmed. People, you got to believe that there are such things as self-driving autonomous trains that don't need anyone to just drive perfectly on time. These things are like 98%, 100% on time. So yeah, it just works. Unfortunately, robots are better than humans in some respects. Changing at wonderful Shadwell station. Any commentary from you?
Not really. I mean, this all looks very sort of like poor area. But if you look behind you, then there's like the Shard and all that sort of like.
Let's take a look. Let's take a look. But far there in the distance is London City. This is the DLR self-driving train, which we are now going to board and take towards Beckton.
DLR, we're going to our fishing spot and we're gonna have a good time. Actually, but first, before we go to the fishing spot, we're gonna go to the fishing shop and just hit up one of those guys and tell them to set us up and go catch some fish.
This train, DLR Docklands Light Railway, is something that I've always enjoyed jumping onto, because as we go through what are quite tatty areas in London, we are actually also going to be going through some of the most modern areas in London too, and areas that are actually becoming increasingly
This is
the
Limehouse.
city. So Docklands is the area, and we're going beyond Docklands into Beckton, where we're going to be searching for that sea bass, believe it or not. So this is the bit that I was talking about that is pretty nice. Behind these, effectively what are, some of them are council houses, but behind there you can see the city, the Docklands, and the actual modern bits, what's known as Canary Wharf, and also some historical monuments here, loads and loads of churches around London, cathedrals. These are various quays here that we're going past. And
This train is for Beckton. Next stop is Westbury. Change the
Beckton
station
is our
towards Canary
destination.
Wharf and Lewisham.
Usually I'll be
Leaving
going
the train,
there
please remember to take
by
all your belongings
mistake,
with you.
but this time I'm going by intention. And there you see the HSBC, Barclays and City buildings. These are the banks that are in some senses ruling the world, obviously coupled with their,
This train
well,
is
there's
for
Bank of America
Beckton.
too,
Next
but
stop
also
is
KPMG
Poplar.
that's
Change the
doing all the
stations towards Stratford.
cooking of the
When leaving
books
the
and stuff.
train, please
So
remember to take all your belongings
all of that
with
goes
you.
hand in hand together to give us the capitalism that we have as we know it today. So this is Poplar Air Station, one of the poorest councils in UK. We came out at Galleon's Reach station, and Ernie's realizing this area ain't that nice. It's pretty rough actually. Ernie, how's this make you feel?
Well, as I have established that shizzle ain't really cupcakes and rainbows around these parts.
Yeah, so we're just going to get some fishing equipment now and then back. Probably going to go back to Excel. Now Ernie's having to travel on the bus to this retail park where we're going to find some fishing equipment to buy for specifically for pike fishing and perch and sea bass and all that kind of stuff. Ernie, how you feeling?
I feel very on ease, to be honest. I feel very sort of on edge. I mean, that's probably where we're going. I mean,
There's Tesco Extra.
it's pretty
There's
dodgy.
Costa there. We're heading into this area where there's quite a lot of shops. Quite a lot of shops. That's the one that we're looking for, Decathlon. Decathlon, that's our yeah. So we're in a shop around. There's a Foot Locker there as well. Foot Locker, how does that make you feel?
Fine.
Can we check out some shoes?
It's alright, we could go go, but first we need to get our fishing gear.
We're now actually in this whole galleon's, what's it called?
We've been to the fishing shop basically and they didn't have anything, so we only have one rod.
The fishing shop was absolute bullshit.
They didn't have anything we actually needed, and they just had some like bullshit, and now we're just going. Like,
yeah, so we decided not to buy anything because they just had like some sort of entry level rods and stuff. But now we're just gonna use our own kit that we brought diligently, and we're walking towards the actual marina where we want to fish. And basically we should have just gone to the marina and not to the shop, but hey, you live and learn. So we finally got to destination. It's unclear whether it's legal or not legal to fish here.
It's illegal. It says no.
But we're going to be fishing anyway.
You are.
The weather is much different to when I first experienced this area, but we're going to look to make the most of it. And Ernie is saying, look, it says no fishing, but the no fishing sign is all rubbed out. So as far as I'm concerned, there is fishing. There's certainly these guys who are doing the rowing, and certainly they are enjoying themselves even though it's really windy. So let's see what happens. So we managed to set up the equipment and managed to actually cast a few. Nothing as yet. Ernie's going to demonstrate the casting procedure, if he can repeat the action. This is London City Airport. It's all real, it's all happening. Better, much better. We've just been put off by the fact that a police vehicle was, airport security car was keeping an eye on us, and yeah, the car kept moving up and down to where we are, and obviously it was getting a bit dangerous, and now we're kind of running away through this back door. We kind of don't know where we are, where we're going, but we're basically just looking after our lives, right? Ernie's looking very dangerous and like a little hooligan, yeah, and I'm looking completely innocent. It is totally legitimate and totally innocent, sir. Our little lure here is amazing, but we haven't caught anything.
It's amazing at luring the seagulls, I'll tell you that.
It's amazing at luring the seagulls. Let's see what happens next. We're changing spots now, and Ernie's about to cast a new one, a new location. Beautiful. There it goes. Check this out. Proper old school London location. And I feel like Ernie might be getting into something soon. Ernie, let it sink, boy. Let it sink, son. Yeah? Is there anything you want to share with the audience?
Not really. I like the look of that. It's pretty cool. That's really cool. I'm fascinated with that.
What do you want to do with that building?
I kind of want to go in and explore it. I'm fascinated by that. That's sick.
Why does it look sick?
I don't know. I wonder, like, if you went inside, you probably, because it's a mill, and I don't know if that means paper mills or like fucking straw mills and stuff. But I wonder if you went inside, would you like find any machinery or like is there something?
Probably for like wheat.
Yeah, like you probably find some like cool stuff in there. Or like these mysteries.
It's a beautiful spot for fishing. Right in front of Excel Center here, and this is where I saw the guy actually catch a fish just for the Christmas. So Ernie's going for a big cast. Gonna let the boy do the thing. This cast quite far. We're having fun now that the wind has gone down. It's not as cold anymore, and I'm sort of increasingly feeling like we might be able to catch something here, but it's for the first time in the day I actually felt like we might be able to catch something, but who knows. Either way, it's really beautiful. We're gonna try this trout and see how that works. We just said 2 prayers towards it, and now it's the first cast with a rainbow. Come on, trout. Ooh, it goes quite far. I quite like that. I quite like that. Let's see what this one can do. And this one I've also put on better than the last one. It's a properly knotted. I've no idea whether there's... Ooh, there is on the surface. This one's going more towards the surface than the other one. I think I'm gonna have to let it sink in more. It looks quite beautiful. It's not that big. It looks big when you put it on. And he's about to go in with a rainbow trout. Not a bad cast. Let's see. Ernie, just let it sink, bro. Let it sink. And then put the rod down towards the water all the way, if not in the water. And then when it sinks, then pull it back quite fast. Just wait a bit and then start reeling it. Yeah, keep reeling, keep reeling. Yeah, just remember, don't suddenly cast it. You know, you have to follow through. We are using angling, angling rod for coarse fishing, which is not optimal, but it's still doable. We've come to one of the ends of this area, and now I'm just letting this thing sink as low down as possible, and we're probably going to make our way slowly back up. And we've just heard from 2 passers-by that some people up, all the way up that way, are catching fish but using maggots, and we don't have maggots nor earthworms. So yeah, that's a bit of a problem, but we're gonna try different lures either way. So overall, that was a disappointing trip in the sense of that we didn't catch anything, but it was a good little outing, and we certainly worked out that our setup works. So yeah, it was a good little spot, and we're now heading back. So on the way back, we're on the self-driving train, going through all these areas in London, East London, that's still in very much lots of development. So we're at Excel Center now, Custom House as it's called, and as you can see, this train does not have a driver other than the AI, the algorithm. So we're just trusting the process here, trusting the process and knowing that it's going to take us back to Shadwell, and then from there on we're going to go on another self-driving train to Bank of England, and then we're heading back to Waterloo, the Battle of Waterloo, and then home. So it's a long way back home, but it's worth it. Two good old friends, good lads. When you're watching this train drive itself, it's always quite something, quite an experience for me, just knowing that it knows where it's going, and that I can just trust that it knows where it's going, and it's going to stop in a smooth way and not going to jump on brakes like some sort of lunatic. So yeah, and Annie says he's had a good time, and I've certainly had a good time because casting those lures was loads of fun, and the water became very still when the wind stopped blowing. It was quite cold, very cold in fact, but that's just going to make the time at home nice and warm. Heating's on, beautiful. We have no food though, Ernie, but we're gonna have to pick something up on the way and cook it perhaps. So it's all on us as usual. Survival of the fittest, the greatest. Some interesting new buildings in London, like this one here. It still seems to be all quite cubist architecture, but what they experiment with is color and some contrast. So in this case you've got this like red and black theme going on, which is quite different, but overall structure is very cubist and very simple, uninspired. I'm sure that stuff in 20-30 years time is going to look like it's in need of major renovation or some sort of upgrading or redesign. So this area looks very much like it is not really been thought through, and what we've got is those canals that are kind of running through, and the bridge over, and these buildings like this. It's just not pretty. Annie, would you agree with that? Yeah, Annie's shaking his head. Any commentary on that? No, it's boring, huh? Here is an interesting building to point out. That building over there is the building for what's known as Telehouse Europe, which is the largest data center in Europe and the key backbone of internet connectivity in London and Europe for that matter. And my friend Paul worked as a data center architect for that. I've been inside that building and checked out some of the servers inside. Huge facility, maybe slightly outdated now, but here goes. Oh, there is also the Millennium Dome. That was one of the buildings that was famously thought of as a complete waste of money, taxpayers' money, originally, where the millennium was celebrated, and now it's used as a concert center, concert hall, and there are loads of shops and different things inside. So names of these stations are quite distinct. There's one station called Cyprus, this one's called the East India. So I think it's all related to the shipping docks and where what kind of shipping docks were called. So obviously East India Company is a big British corporation that was shipping tea and spices from India. Still, I believe, one of the biggest companies in the world. There's a Millennium Dome people are able to scale that and climb on it and walk over it and so on. It's some sort of guided tourist attraction. So yeah, now we're going through Docklands, and this is called Blackwall Station. All on DLR, all self-driving, 20 years now. It's actually one thing that I noticed is that these railways are going a bit rusty. As you see the other train going past, also self-driving. It's all just kind of very gentle and polite. There's a polite feel to these trains. You just know it's all going to be going smoothly. Smooth takeoff, smooth approach to the stations. More cubist buildings there, more cubist buildings. All this stuff here, cubism, pure cubism, just squares, rectangles, cubes everywhere. So one of the things about Docklands that people usually say about it is that it's all effectively glass and metal and concrete, mostly metal and glass. And so the feeling in these parts of London, the feeling is very much like there is no soul. The whole thing is soul free. One guy scaled up to that building over there, on top of that little pyramid thing. He actually, they climbed on top of that pyramid. You know that? Like, have you seen the video when the boys climbed on top of the pyramid there? Have you seen that? Yeah? So the guys free climb up on top of that HSBC. Oh no, that's not the that's the City Point building as it's known. So amazing view from there. And so as you can maybe see the signs there saying Tower Bridge. This way down is Tower Bridge. So we're getting more and more into central London.